Hello, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started on our math. We're going to be doing lesson 8 today, which is the last second grade step up to third lesson that we're going to do. But let's go over to our camera, our document camera. So just a moment, and I will go over there so we can correct lesson 7, step up lesson 7. So please grab your lesson step up 7. It's a tongue twister for me. And get ready to correct. And remember, if there's any mistakes, that's okay. Just fix them. That's the most important part. We're always going to have times where we make a mistake. But if we take the time to look at it and fix it, then it's all worth it. So. All right, so number 6 says 936 minus 524. So first we're going to subtract 500. So we have 936, subtract the 500. That's going to leave us with 436. We're going to put that 436 on the next line, and we're going to subtract 20. So we're going to be left with 416. Okay, then we're going to take the 416 and subtract that 4 that's left over, and that leaves us with 412. Okay, if you need to pause it so that you can go in and change things, please do that. And I will probably say that several times, very often, just because I want you to be able to do this with me, because if we were in class together, that's exactly what we would do. We would do this together. All right, number 7, 854 minus 235. First, subtract 200. So we need to put in our big number first. Subtracting 200, that's going to leave us with 654. 654 minus 30 would leave us 624. 624 minus 4 would leave us with 620. 620 minus 1 would be 619. So see how they broke up that 5 into a 4 and a 1? Because there was a 4 here in the ones place. So when we look at the number 235, so we subtracted the right amount. All right, 984 minus 356. Start out with 984 minus 300. Okay, 300 take from 9 is going to be 684. Bring your 684 below. And now we're going to subtract our tens. Let's take away 50. That's going to leave us with 634. Bring your 634 down, and we're going to take away 6. Well, let's break that 6 into a 4 and a 2, okay? Because 4 plus 2 equals 6. So let's take away a 4. That leaves us with 630. 630 take away 2 is going to equal 628. All right. Please pause so that you have time to get all of this written down. And then as soon as you're done, go ahead and come back, and we will be going on to the next problem. So on the back, we have only number 15 to do. Carl's book has 416 pages. He read 50 pages last week. He read another 31 pages this week. How many more pages does Carl have left to read? Okay. So let's go with our 416. Take away, let's take away 10 because we have 50 right here. That's going to leave us with 406. 406, take away 40. Okay. So it's going to leave us with 364. 364 minus 30 is going to be 334. 334 minus 1 is going to make 333 pages left. Let's look back here. Okay. Go back. Okay. Okay, sorry for that interruption. Let's go back. You guys probably have those same situations at home, huh? When somebody comes by. All right, so let's go back to this one. And so while I was talking, I realized that I subtracted wrong. So that happens. We just talked about that. 364 minus 30 is going to be 336. 336 minus 1 is going to be 335. Okay, let's look up here. Do we have an answer for that choice? C. C is the answer for that choice. All right, good job. We're going to go ahead and get ready to start lesson 8. Okay, got my paper ready, and I'm going to go back and we're going to watch the video that goes with our lesson. Sorry about that. Sometimes when something happens while we're in the middle of something, it kind of distracts us, doesn't it? But it's good to check and see where we were. And I saw that I had made a mistake.
How can you subtract 3-digit numbers with place value blocks? Think about this question during the lesson. Fish caught near the Hawaiian Islands can be very large. How many more pounds does a broadbill swordfish weigh than a blue marlin? Find 237 minus 165.
Okay, so we're going to be changing it a little bit. You remember from second grade that we started to borrow from the place value to the left. So in this lesson, we're going to be practicing borrowing from the place value to the left. Very similar to how we were breaking it down, taking away the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. We're going to be borrowing to help our numbers so we can subtract.
Place value to subtract the ones first, the tens next, and then the hundreds. Show 237 with place value blocks. How many hundreds, tens, and ones are shown for the number 237?
Okay, so we see 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 7 ones.
There are 2 hundreds, 3 tens, 7 ones. Subtract the ones. 7 ones is greater than 5 ones, so no regrouping is needed. 7 ones minus 5 ones equals 2 ones. Subtract the tens. What will happen when you try to take away 6 tens from 3 tens?
Okay, so looking at that, do we have enough tens to take? We don't have enough tens. So we're going to have to go over here and break up one of these hundreds to help us add to these tens.
There are not enough tens. 3 tens is less than 6 tens, so regroup. 100 is equal to how many tens?
Okay. So just like we need to have 10 ones to regroup and make a 10 rod, we need 10 rods to make 100 plate.
100 equals 10 tens. 13 tens minus 6 tens equals 7 tens. Subtract the hundreds. 100 minus 100 equals 0 hundreds. So 237 minus 165 equals 72. A broadbill swordfish weighs 72 more pounds than a blue marlin. I love going fishing, especially when I catch a fish that weighs more than me.
Boy, I haven't done that yet, but I've caught some wonderful fish in my life. All right, we're going to get out our paper. So let me switch back to our camera. All right, so let's go to the guided practice part. And so let's look at number 1. In the example on page 950, we don't have that one, but it's like the video. For 237 minus 165, why do you need to regroup 100 into 10 tens? Remember how we had to break that one large 100 block into 10 rods? All right, so our answer is going to be you need to regroup because you cannot take 6 tens from 3 tens. Okay, go ahead and pause if you need to so you can get that written down. Okay, so number 2 says, Gary saved $287 doing jobs in his neighborhood. He bought a computer printer for $183. How much money did Gary have left? You can draw a picture of place value blocks to help you subtract if you need to. We're going to go ahead and stack it. So we have 287 minus the 183 that he spent. Okay, so we're going to start with our ones. 7 ones is larger than 3 ones, so we can subtract. 7 take away 3 is 4. 8 and 8 we can take from each other. They're the same. And then 2 take away 100 leaves us with 100. So they have $104 left. Okay. All right, let's go to numbers 3 through 10. We're going to be borrowing and regrouping so that we have enough tens and ones to subtract. So 9 ones take away 8 ones leaves us with 1 left. But we can't take 6 tens out of 5 tens, so we're going to need to regroup. So let's go over. This is equal to having 8 hundreds. So if we had blocks, we'd have 8 of them. And we're going to borrow just 1 and break that up into some tens. So what we do is we're going to cross off this one, leave it with 7 because that's how many are left. And we're going to take that group of 10 and regroup it as 15. So that 15 minus 6 is 9. And 7 minus 7 is 0. So our answer is 91. Okay, so pause if you need to. On any of these that we're doing, pause so that you have time to get it, and then go ahead and unpause it so that you're going on to the next one with us. So 361 take away 124. So 4 ones, I can't take 4 ones out of 1 1. So we're going to go over here and take a group of 10. So that leaves 5 tens left here. And we're going to add that group over here to make that 11. 10 plus 1 is 11. So 11 minus 4 we can do. That is 7. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So your answer should be 237. Okay, number 5, 285 minus 49. I'm looking here and we have a lot of practice. It's going to have us do a lot of practice so that we get used to regrouping within a problem like this. So I can't take 9 ones out of 5 ones, so I'm going to take a 10, just 1, leave the rest, 7, and that makes this regroup as a 15. So 15 take away 9 is 6, 7 take away 4 is 3, and 2 take away nothing is 2, so 236. All right, we have 684 take away 482. So I can take 2 ones out of 4. That leaves me with 2. 8 minus 8, I can take that. That's a 0. And 6 minus 4 is a 2. So we didn't have to regroup at all in that one. Number 7. So they've written it like this, 384 minus 358. I like to restack them so that I can keep my place value in order. Okay? So 8 ones out of 4 ones I can't do. So I'm going to borrow 1 10, and that's going to leave that with 7 10s. We're going to regroup that. 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So your answer is 26. Okay. 352 minus 214. I'm going to rewrite this so that I have the place values stacked in order here. I can't take 4 ones out of 2 ones, so I'm going to borrow just 1 10, leaving them with 4 10s, and put the other 10 here. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So our answer is 138. Okay, do you need to pause? Go ahead and pause if you need to. 512 take away 101. Okay, 2 minus 1 is enough. We can do 1. 1 minus 0, that's enough. 5 minus 1, that's enough. So our answer is 411. $999 minus 889. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. So it's 110 for your answer. Okay, so please push pause right now if you need to get any of this done on the top here. Okay, and we're going to go to the bottom. And you can draw squares to show hundreds, lines to show tens, and dots to show ones. This picture shows 123. So what they mean is for 600, I can draw 600 boxes. And I can draw 5 lines to stand for the tens, and then a dot to stand for my 1. Okay, so when we're going to take away 3 from 1, we can't do that. So we would have to take one of these 10s and put all those 1s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I can take away 1, 2, 3. That's going to leave me with 8. Then I'm going to take away my 110, so that's going to leave me with 1. Then we're going to take away hundreds, so that's going to leave us with 1. Take away 5 hundreds. So that's what they mean. You can draw a picture if you need to. I'd like to see if you could start practicing doing it where you're just keeping them in the place value here. Let's look at this real quick one more time. So I did take, so I didn't need to make that 4, so this is going to be 108. Simple little mistakes. Simple little mistakes. We can get the wrong answer. Okay, 492 minus 138. I can't take 8 out of 2, so I'm going to borrow a group of 10 from the 9. I'm going to leave 8, and now I'm going to regroup. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 4, or 12 minus 8 is 4. 8 minus 3 is 5, and 4 minus 1 is 3. Right. 690 minus 481. I can't take 1 out of the 0, so I'm going to take a 10, break it up, leaving that 10 minus 1 is 9, 8 minus 8 is 0, and 6 minus 4 is 2. $508 minus 137. I can take 7 out of 8. That leaves 1. But I can't take 3 out of 0. So I'm going to have to take one of these hundreds, break it up. 10 minus 3 is 7. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do. This is going to be a lot more problems, but we're hopefully going to get really good practice. So I want you to circle 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I'm going to do these last two with you. Okay, so 819 minus 124. 9 minus 4 is 5. 1 minus 2 I can't do, so I'm going to take one of these hundreds and break it up. And now I have 11 minus 2 is 9, and 7 minus 1 is 6. I know it's kind of hard when these numbers are close together. 8 minus 3 is 5. 3 minus 8 I can't do, so we're going to borrow 100 and break that up so that I have 130 tens. 13 minus 8 and 3 minus 2 is 1. All right, so these problems I want you to work on at home, and we're going to correct those on Monday, in our Monday video. All right, so pause if you need to so you can get everything written down. I'm going to flip over here, so when you're ready, you can just come right back. All right, how many more miles is it from Cleveland to Chicago than from Cincinnati to Cleveland? Okay, think, what do I know? What do I need to find? So this diagram here shows us the distance in trips. A trip from Cleveland to Chicago is going to be 346 miles. A trip from Cincinnati to Cleveland is going to be 249 miles. From Washington, D.C. to Cleveland is 372 miles. So how many more miles is it to go to Chicago than it is to go to Cincinnati? So we're going to have to do a little math here. Subtract 346, take away 249, and that's going to show us how much more distance it goes to get to Chicago. So I can't take 9 out of 6, so I'm going to borrow a group of 10 and make this 16. So 16 minus 9 is 7. Now I'm going to try to take 4 tens out of 3 tens. I can't do that either, so I'm going to have to take a 100 block, break it up, and now I can put a 10 group over here. So 13 minus 4 is 9. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we know that from Cleveland to Chicago is 97 miles more to Chicago. Okay. Go ahead and pause if you need to get that written down. Okay, when you're ready and come back, Mr. Sousa is driving from Washington, D.C. to Cleveland and then to Cincinnati. He has traveled 182 miles. How many miles are left in his trip? Okay, so first of all, from Washington, D.C. to Cleveland, it's 372 miles. I'll write that here. And then from Cleveland to Cincinnati, it's going to be the same. Even Cincinnati to Cleveland, you can go back. Cleveland to Cincinnati is 249 miles. So we're going to put that together, add that together. 2 plus 9 is 11. Carry that 10 up here. 1 plus 7 is 8. Plus 4 more is 12. Put that extra 100 up here. 100 plus 300 plus 200 is 600. So 621 miles altogether. And it says he's already driven 182. So let's go over here. Let's write 621 miles. That's the total trip. Take away the 182 he's already done. You can't take 2 out of 1. So we're going to break this 10 into a group of ones, and that's going to make 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. We can't take 8 tens out of 1 10, so we're going to take a 100 block and break it up so that we have 11 minus 8 is 3, and 5 minus 1 is 4. So there is 439 miles left to go. All right. Okay, make sure you pause so you can get that all written down. Okay, we're going to go to number 25. Which girl got more votes? How many more votes did that girl get? So we're looking at student council president votes, 7th grade votes, and 8th grade votes. So Claudia got 183 7th grade and 157 8th grade. Jasmine got 162 7th grade and 156 8th grade votes. Okay, so we need to figure out how many votes each girl got. That's number 1. So we're going to add these together. So 183 plus 157, 10, carry your 10 up here. 9 plus 5 is 14, carry that up here. 340. So Claudia has 340 votes. Jasmine has 162 plus 156. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 6 plus 5 is 11, and that is 318 votes. So she has 318 votes. We can see Claudia has more votes already, but how many more votes? So we have to subtract these. 340 for Claudia, 318 for Jasmine. 8 ones out of 0 ones we can't do. So we're going to break this 10 up and make this into 10 minus 8. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 3 minus 3 is 0. So Claudia gets 22 more votes than Jasmine. Okay, so go ahead and pause this so you can get it all written down. Okay, we have 2 more to go. I'm going to have you do 28 and 29 on your own. All right, 26 says, Kendra got $20 for her birthday. She earned $62 babysitting, and then she earned $148 shoveling snow. How much money does Kendra have? So here's all of her money, okay? So we can add 20 to 62 by jumping up tens. So the next 10 would be 72, then 82. So I know we have 82 right here. So I'm going to take 148 plus the 82. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry that 10 up here. 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Carry that 100 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. So she has $230 total. Okay, go ahead and pause so you can get that down. And when you come back, we're going to do number 27. Kim needs to find 437 minus 258. Will she need to regroup to find the answer? If so, explain how she will need to regroup. What will Kim's answer be? All right, so we're going to have to go make a little room over here, make a little line here so I know where my problem is. I'm going to do 437 minus 258. Okay. All right, I'm already seeing that I don't have enough ones, so I'm going to have to regroup this 10 and bring it over to my 1. So we're going to take one of the 10s away, leaving the 2 10s there, and bring over the 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. Now I can subtract. 17 minus 8 is 9. 2 minus 5. I can't do take 50 out of 20. So I'm going to take one of these 100 blocks and break it up, and I'm going to regroup that as, and actually it's 120, but we see 12 minus 5 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so she will need to find 179. So, yes, she is going to have to regroup. She will regroup 110. We took 110 as 10 ones. And she's going to have to take one of the hundreds, 100, as 10 tens. So 179 is her answer. It's supposed to be an arrow right there. Oopsie. All right, we're going to go ahead and, so make sure you have everything on here written down on your paper. And then I'm going to have you do these at home. I'm going to read them real quick so that you know what they're asking. And then I want you to select your answer and do the math. You can write on the sides here to figure it out. It is 239 miles from Dallas to Houston, and it's 275 miles from Dallas to San Antonio. How many fewer miles is it from Dallas to Houston than from Dallas to San Antonio? So we're going to be subtracting these two. What number goes on top? Always remember, the biggest number goes on top, and you're going to write the smaller number under it. Subtract it and find out how many fewer miles. Okay, number 29 says, an amusement park ride can hold 120 people. There are already 104 people on the ride. Which equation shows how many more people the ride can hold? Would you do 120 minus the 104 will equal 16? Would you do 120 minus 100 is 20 people? Would you do 120 minus 94 equals 26 people? Would you do 120 plus 104 equals 224 people? Which of those problems is going to work for this problem up here? They can have 120. We've already got 140 people on there. So how many seats are left to sit in? All right. Let's back out of the camera here. Oh, really quick before we back out of the camera. So remember, you have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 to practice on the first page, and 28 and 29 to practice on the back page. So a few more than we normally have done, but you can do it. You can do it. It's our last second grade math problem. We will be starting our third grade problems next week. So that will be exciting. So just take some time to get this done. Ask me questions if you have any questions. We're going to correct it on Monday in Monday's video, but I need you to have it done today. So finish that up today so that you can have the weekend to yourself and not have to worry about it. If there is some certain circumstance with at home that you can't get it done today, I need you to have your stuff turned in to me by Sunday night for sure, because I do have to turn in attendance, and I can't turn in attendance if I don't see that you've done your work. So, all right. Thank you, boys and girls, for working so hard on your math, and I will see you over in our reading classes.